Start recording. All right. Good morning. Welcome out to the Market Watch Group weekly opening bell. I'm Scott. We're a little past our start time, but we're off and running. Here are our disclaimers. This is educational, illustrative only. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. No advice, no recommendations. Today's agenda, look at the futures and the news. We'll review the economic calendar. It's employment week. Review our posture. We're bullish. Mindset for trades. We have a minor hiccup on the open. That doesn't mean anything to us. We're not like, oh, the futures are down. What are we going to do? We're like, hey, sometimes futures open down. There is, if you go to Friday, in the recording of Friday's weekly close, we walked through a trade that I said, this is a potential alert. It's valid. I haven't put it out yet, but I probably will sometime today on AXP. We'll look at it. You'll see. Or you might get a chance. I think a couple people got in early. It's a valid trade. That's why you would get in. But there was a question asked about that in Discord this morning. So, yeah, that's what it was. It was not formally put out as an alert yet, but we did walk through it. And if you want to walk through the mindset, the logistics, you can go in and watch that. So what else? We'll talk about the opening range. We'll talk about what we see on our watch list and trading plan section of the week. It's section 8. Checking in on and setting trading goals. We're going to put a few in place, and then we're going to start over section 1 again. Should be good. All right, let's get to it. Well, there you can see the futures are down. U.S. futures slip from records with Powell to speak. He already spoke. We already know. He already told us. We're not expecting anything new. Futures are down 0.2 on the S&P, 0.19 on the Dow, 0.22 on the NASDAQ, 0.57 on the Russell. A little bit more aggressively there, but we've seen a little bit more aggressively it bump higher. Crude oil is down 0.15, gold down 0.2, so pretty much just across the board. A minor little blip. Powell is supposed to speak again. Let's take a quick peek at the economic calendar. Here is Jer Bear at 1:55 p.m. I'm not even sure what the event is. I don't think anyone is really. I don't think anyone's really all that concerned that. Oh, maybe he's gonna. I think it's overall fine. Tuesday. What do we have? Job openings. Here, down to 7.7 million, which is still higher than pre-pandemic. And so, it's come down, but it's coming actually down to normal, which we haven't seen for a while. Wednesday, ADP, 99,000. Is that last time? Yeah, that's previous. We don't have expectations from them yet. Jobless claims have been sitting low 200s. Then we have non-farm expected at 140, which is maintenance. It's not weakness. Less than 100, weakness. Negative jobs, weakness. 150. It's not growth. I'm not saying, oh, look at us expanding. Stability. What's expected from the unemployment rate? Remember, it was 4.3. That's what triggered. I think it was, wasn't it? I thought it was 4.3, and then it dropped back to 4.2. And it's like, well, what happens on that indicator if it triggers? Then it actually goes back a clip and is near historic lows. That's what I think took the validity away. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we referenced, it's called the SOM indicator, and it accurately predicted 9 or 11 recessions based on unemployment being 0.5% higher than the 12-month low, it means that it's gone up too fast and it's weakness. But the problem is, in this case, and as I dug into it further, because I was initially like, oh, this is something, you guys. But doing the due diligence that we should do, I looked into it further. I even found a time where she's like, this may not be applicable when the 12-month low you're referencing is also a historic low. Like, that's the lowest it's ever been. Ever. Like, maybe we should not necessarily throw everything behind that. And then here's the deal. There'll be like a recession like in 18 months, and they'll be like, see, the SOM indicator. What? It doesn't count 2 years ago? Oh. Okay, so that's it. What time is it? We've got 2 minutes. 50-50, slightly ahead for a 0.5 point cut. Should we do a quick check-in? I still think another 0.25 point. I don't think they're going to hit it with a half. Although, actually, as I say it, I'm kind of thinking, well, if they really were going to demonstrate a commitment, that they're going to stay in front of it, and that they are convinced it got to the point it needed to get to, would they hit it with 50 again? New jobs. That's 144,000 new non-farm payroll jobs. Net new. Give me your thoughts about that. Like, as I say it, I'm kind of thinking back when they first moved into hawkish mode and they were in a tightening stance, they hit it twice with 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. It was like, whoa. So if they're entering the accommodative phase, more dovish policy, or are they going to hit it twice? I'm actually thinking, anyone want to weigh in? I'm kind of moving to that 0.5 point. Like, they hit it, another 0.5 point, then maybe a quarter in December, and then they call it. But boy, I'll tell you what, if we get, it'll be interesting, because I have a feeling there's going to be uncertainty in the election, right? There's going to be uncertainty, and I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I hear that there's like intended as such. But if the Fed comes out with that rate, I think we have a fall/Santa rally for sure. Don't fight the Fed. We know that. Okay, market's open. We'll go take a peek here in just a second. Actually, no, we're good. Let's go look down. Everyone's quiet today. Nobody wants to throw their guess out for what they think the rate hike, the rate cut is going to be. So quiet today. 25, Bob says. All right. So, consumer staples turned up today. You can kind of see, if you're still looking at this CL, it's where it needs to be. It's up, but it there's not much grace left here with this thing. Yeah. But you can kind of see the defensives looking okay. Let's go take a look at the SPY and our opening range. Now, we identified quite a few setups, a lot of different areas. We had a lot in financials. We had a lot in technology, communication services. We had some consumer discretionary, little bit of industrials. We did a cursory search of utilities. Fabulous. We saw a number of good stocks. We're going to formalize that tomorrow night if you want to see that. So we're going to add, because utilities were like, apparently it's turned into a growth sector, and there are breakouts happening. Electricity makers are, you're going to see it, right? You're going to see people out in just rural areas throw up energy farms. Instead of farming, they just slap up a bunch of solar panels, because there's just going to be such a demand for electricity, right? With AI and crypto and, the such. So we opened down a little. We're already coming back. It's easier than milking cows, Bob, right? It's 100%. Just slap it up, plug it in. How long are solar panels good for? About like 15 years or something like that. All right, you just put one section a year for 5 years, 25 years. Holy shit. That sounds great. 25 years. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, I'm going to start buying like sunny land with nothing on it that's near a power line and start slapping it up. Okay. 20 to 40 years? Oh my gosh. I need to get like caught up on the technology. 40 years is impressive. All right, so we opened, and what's going on in our opening range in our first 5 minutes? The buyers are coming in. All right, we don't even let's just look. We don't really tend to, but okay, it opened, it moved up. We're just right where we were. Let's take a look at our VIX. That was interesting to us. What was the thought process we all talked about? The potential for a lower high to come, that it would pop up like it did, and stall like it might be, and then roll over like it could. And that would be this de-escalation pattern. If you weren't there and didn't have a chance to listen to the recording, here's our posture. Exactly the same. Nothing changed. Nothing got stronger. Nothing got weaker. We're a nice solid 5.5. We're a good bit away now. This was back in early August when we kind of dropped and bottomed here, and we've seen nothing but recovery since then. Yeah, okay. Let's get to the watch list. So VIX looks cooperative. If it stalls and then rolls over, that's a lower high. That would actually be an increase in our score next week if we see that. Okay. Apple. Oh, look at Apple trying to bust out of this. Look at Apple. Turning into a Heiken-Ashi. Trying to lead technology. Love that. AFL, nothing there yet. Amazon is getting close. You know I'm licking my chops with this one. AXP. That was our trade right there, but you can see a little bit of a stall in financials today. That's sector-wide. You can see Bank of America was setting up, pulled back today. BK, continuing its pullback. BLDR was actually one I was thinking about. So what am I doing? Still thinking about it. Buyers were like, we're thinking, and then it was like, not yet. I'm still thinking about it. Carrier, thinking about it. Caterpillar, not yet. CL, we know, not much grace left. CMG, potential. Costco. I don't know. Costco's looking a little sideways and choppy right now. We'll have to see. Here's the diamonds. Fastenal, just kind of floating around. I don't know. If it doesn't pull back very soon, you're not going to have much time before earnings. GBTC, that's... Now, here's the deal. I really am not looking to trade Bitcoin, but I do like to just keep an eye on it. If anyone's ever wondering, I may not ever throw something on this, but certainly like to just be aware of it. Gold is in consolidation. So what am I thinking here? I'm considering buying the dip. I don't trade a lot of gold, but I'm thinking about getting a position. No. Google, it's interesting to see Apple, Google trying to just continue pushing up, out. That's, you know what, David, let me just get that posted tomorrow or as soon as we're done here. That's my fault. Home Depot overextended. IWM. So Sandy wanted to know, what does the market have in store for us? Just kind of meandering. These regional banks are yeah, it is on YouTube. That's right, Lee. There's always a version that you can go find that just is automatic from the stream. I think it's a lower quality, so you can go watch that, or I will go post the formal and put the link in our recordings. Lee knows the cheat. It's always just posts itself there in the so okay, Coke's kind of grinding. MasterCard. Okay, so MasterCard is holding up. AXP not so much. Interesting. McDonald's overextended. Meta overextended. 3M is pulling back. Morgan Stanley pulling. So you can see the financials are all in the same place. Microsoft, yeah. Broke out. Got to a new high. Now it's pulling back. Sellers haven't done much. It's now sitting. It's now sitting on top of the 50-day moving average. Well, it looks reasonable there. NDAQ setting up. So I think we've got nothing firing today. Market's just kind of opening, trying to figure it out, ease into this new accommodative world with the Fed. Maybe just process a little. It's like it's a little nervous. It's a little nervous. Like, is everything okay? It is. NDAQ looks good, looks strong, ready to trade again. Netflix just got to its new highest high, right? Like, you can't really argue with that. Nvidia, if it stabilizes, we know there's a lot of strength sniffing around in these technology stocks, right? PGR still considered viable. PLTR. Oh yeah. At this point, if this thing turns I think we may see another push. But you can see, like from here, it could meander around a little bit. So you can see it went up, and then it hiccuped, and then it went. That hiccup pattern, it doesn't always hiccup. So if it doesn't hiccup, you missed it. If you get in and it hiccups, you got to give it a little bit. If you were to take this trade and then stop out, only to then watch that, it never broke support. We know we're in a bull market. So, for example, AXP, if it's hiccuped, great. I mean, it's not great, but it's also not catastrophic. It's not wrong. This is the kind of market where I'm much more likely to stay in trades, give it some grace, see what we can do. Okay, let's keep going. But I do like PLTR as a setup. A lot of things setting up across a lot of different places right now. QQQ on a little bit of a pullback. SPY. These both look very strong. This looks like a little flag. Like, oh, just a little consolidation, and then this thing might be ready to jump again. Same thing there. Tesla's all the way back up. Is anyone in? You guys know I'm not a huge Tesla fan. Did anyone trade Tesla up this time? Nope. All right. We used to watch some of the other EV stocks, but they're just a little choppy maybe. TSM. Did I put this on the list? I think I didn't, but I actually feel like yesterday was a pretty big day, but it's stalling out. Like, it's stabilizing pretty quickly. Oh, I did put it on. I did. UMP is a bit of a dog. USB is down. Dollar is staying somewhat down. VIX stabilizing. I think that's playing into what we talked about. Yesterday in our market posture, what we talked about was the potential of this developing into a lower high. If it doesn't get above that 50 and it starts to roll over, what does that tell us about the sentiment of institutions? They're feeling great. They're ready to buy. They have plenty of cash. Still plenty of cash to just keep moving this market. So yeah, I'm feeling bullish. If I have trades that are down, I'm holding on. Give me your thoughts. What are your concerns right now? Anyone have any? Let me know. All right, let's keep going. Walmart on the list. So strong. Look at this thing. It's just so strong. And if you're an options trader, if you're a spread trader, this is the kind of thing where you could just like get a spread on and just let it run, put some time decay in your favor. It's not high. Whoops. What did I just do? I don't know what I did. That totally distracted me. It's not high implied volatility, so there's not like big premiums. It's not like if you own the stock, you would be comfortable selling covered calls, or you would be benefiting very much selling that premium. But there you go. Trading posture cautious. The market doesn't seem as bullish as our posture. So what Bob is actually saying is that the The short-term momentum isn't showing the bullishness. But remember, what we're looking at is lining things up. I agree. I mean, cautious. If you look at just simply, are there a lot of things firing off new trades today? No, we're looking at a lot of things that are setting up new trades today. I think caution is definitely the right tone. So, but for me, the posture is what convinces me to say, hey, even when my trading posture is a little bit more like cautious because we're seeing it in consolidation, I know that I need to get things on so that it doesn't just all of a sudden, boom, boom, get a couple of days where I'm like, oh, I didn't have time. I didn't have time to put new trades on. It was whatever I had. And we've seen a bit of that here, where all of a sudden it's just like, you're like, whoa, this thing's moving. And it's like, whatever you have on, that is what you have. So, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, let's talk about the trading plan. For a second. Any other concerns? Anything that I'm missing in what we've talked about? Let me know. Let me know. Where is my trading plan? Okay. Those of you who are new, not this week, but next week, we're starting over with section 1. This week, we are looking at improvement strategies, otherwise known as goals, trading goals. What is our overall premise in regard to trading goals? The overall premise is one outcome goal. So if you want to be like, I want to make at least 20% this year, great. If you want to make a quarterly goal, I want to make X percent per quarter, I'd be very careful. Even setting a monthly goal. Because if you miss your goal, it might not be because you just didn't trade well. It might be because the market was in a bad place for 3 months straight. That's why even quarterly can be right. The market doesn't move on linear paths. If you make 36% in a year, it didn't likely come 3% a month for 12 months. Right? That's just not what happens. You might have made 20% in 3 months. You might have had a 4-month period where you just broke even. You tried. You're doing what you can. And then, right, you might have had a month where you dropped 5%. And then a 3-month period where you got 10, right? And it's very hard for us to be like, oh, I would like to make 4% per month, as if you're like writing the plan for it. Yeah, I want you to just kind of picture the blade of grass making its plan for the lawnmower. Like the lawnmower is like, it doesn't even laugh because it doesn't even recognize the blade of grass is existing. Oh, you have a plan, blade of grass? Good luck, buddy. Anyways. Yes. So, we just go with the flow and hope that the flow produces enough for us. Right? Well, what we want to focus on is process goals. Set a goal to improve your ability to hold on to winning trades longer, to cut losing trades sooner, to improve your entries, to improve your exits, to improve your position sizing, to improve your there's so many different areas, right? To improve your daily execution, to improve each aspect of your trading plan. Excuse me, a little tickle in my throat. Needed a quick drink of coffee. That's it. I'd have a few goals. Where do they come from? They come from weaknesses, section 1. If you have a weakness, set a goal to mitigate it, eliminate it, and if possible, turn it into a strength. Trading priorities, where do those come from? That comes from your record keeping. That's right. Set goals based on analytics. So we have the ability to just sort of dissect. Now that we've standardized our plan, we have the ability to take any one component of that plan and specifically identify how we're going to make that better. It's tough because it's easy to get complacent, but if you commit to just an hour a week on your trading plan, and you just kind of grind through this, you will have such a strong trading plan in 6 months. Have you sent that to me again, Steven? You will post it to me? Oh, okay, not yet. All right, send it to me for sure. A few things. Tonight, 6:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern. Little chit chat, no pressure. We just come, hang out. It's just nice to get to know the people that you're here working with. That is our cocktail hour, happy hour. Tomorrow we have an hour and a half for Trading Foundations. We're going to do some searching and utilities. We're going to do some trading plan talk, etc. So make sure you come for that. I feel like we're going to build some trades. We've been building trades in the foundations, and those have been turning into alerts. So make sure you come, hang out. Any questions? Anything that we need to do that would make things more helpful given current circumstances and market conditions? I feel like maybe I haven't checked in. Yes, Miguel, another round. Constant, right? In fact, what we'll do, we need to do another prioritization session, because once you've done a few passes and you get your plan to a good place, then you're not going to, what happens is you'll lose. I noticed this was happening. People were losing focus, like, oh, we're going around on another circle, another blah, blah, and it's kind of like, eh. And as I noticed that, I'm like, okay, yeah, when you get to a certain point, it's no longer like, oh, I'm just, now it's about looking at your plan and picking 2 sections, right? 2 sections that you're going to focus on and work on. And what we did is we actually went through and we talked about how can we score each section of our plan, scale from 1 to 10. And as you score it, then of course it helps prioritize itself, because then the lowest, the 2 lowest, you're like, okay, these are my worst sections. And then you work on them. And when you're done working on them, you rescore them. And then you look at things and you say, okay, now what's my lowest section? So it's a constant, now what's my lowest section approach. So at any given time, you know what your self-assessed worst section of your plan is. You know, right? And so, yeah, it's good for us to dial back in and just sort of push that process to the forefront. It doesn't have to be where it's like, oh, I'm grinding on my plan, where it's just like, hey, I'm going to spend a half hour a week. When I do, these are the 2 sections that I'm going to sit down, look at, work on, and start trying to fix. Awesome. Good day. I love it, Miguel. That's a perfect mindset. Been thinking about it. That's just been thinking about it. And now we get to take the thoughts, the observations, the execution, And now we put it to paper, and you'll see that each next time, it's like when you watch a movie again, you're like, oh, I missed that. Huh? What? I didn't know he said, right? And you catch more things. It's like the next pass, you're like, oh yeah, now I can. Anyway, yeah, good. I'm excited. Let's make sure we get to that together tomorrow. Good Monday, good start. Let's go check in on the market one more time. Look at Walmart. Walmart wants to bounce off the top of that channel. Oh, so we're kind of stable here, just sitting. I mean, overall, there's a lot of strength. The VIX looks like it's stabilizing. Okay, I'm here for it. Good to see everybody. I will go get the. Oh, thank you, Lee. Good to see you. Thanks, everyone. See you tonight if possible. If not, tomorrow. As always, happy trading.